positions, I think is the biggest thing that just clicked, and I think you'll see it kind of in the games. Like, it just clicked. It was like that's the
Perfect.
best be, and I'm and then you'll also see the times I'm still struggling on paying attention where my team is or
Right.
getting too greedy. But
Right.
for the most part, I think I'm on a 16. I went had a really bad losing streak. Went down to like gold 3 or 4, and basically I've won every single game all the way up to almost plat 5. I think I'm like maybe a game away from plat 5.
Yeah, I see. I see. Yeah, I think it's quite common whenever you're focusing on the new concepts, the new ideas, losing a little bit more. It's okay. It's just important to say what do you do as well when you got lose streak. Yeah, maybe you taking breaks. Maybe there have been other suggestions here for just our practice in general. Doing this interleave practice anyway, still trying to get better
Mm.
at the concept without getting tilted, just
Yeah,
making
yeah,
sure your
yeah.
mindset is good there still. Yeah, by the
Yeah.
way, besides those power positions, so those went really well. What
Um,
about all those latest things, maybe starting with
I'll,
just effective practice, I guess? What have you been
uh,
implementing so far?
for effective practice.
Yeah, just our notes from the previous lesson.
Oh,
There have been some notes on goal setting, how to self review, and I also see yeah, we've been talking about this XYZ kind of thing, interleave practice. Yeah,
set up, pressure, stabilize, and then XYZ kind of
yeah,
mentality and stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
sure.
the the XYZ for the XYZ thing has definitely helped out. And I've kind of had to like alternate it to something that kind of
Hmm.
fits what I'm kind of seeing in the moment.
Sure.
And it's like for me, it's like okay, I'm in a it's I guess it's instinctual for people at higher ranks, I guess. But something I've had to really kind of focus on is what is the kill zone? Where is that? I'm like, okay, where are we fighting?
Hmm.
Okay, that's step one. Okay, where is the best position for me? Okay,
Hmm.
what can I do in this position to best set up for my team? And then I go through the YZ that we had, which is like, okay, how much pressure can I
Hmm.
do? Okay, when is the best time to come in and kind of do that way, if that makes sense.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
uh-huh. Yeah,
I'm
continue.
having to identify the what would be considered obvious to some because doesn't come instinctual for me, I guess, if that makes sense. Like I put resources, or I've realized, especially in my early games when I was FOD reviewing them, sadly the re update removed them, but um I realized that I was putting resources in places that it wasn't the kill zone. You know, I was just kind of
Yeah.
just throwing
Mhm.
resources anywhere and everywhere just to like, yeah, you can use
Exactly.
resources to get a kill and stuff like that, but I wasn't utilizing it correctly.
Exactly, exactly,
Hmm.
exactly. And especially with even when you apply this XYZ, be careful trying to, I guess, implement too many things at a time. Yeah, if possible, one, two is the best. If it's working out for you, maybe three small things. If it's working out without
Hmm.
your focus being spread out way too much, then I think
Yeah,
this is good. But be careful. I think that was
yeah,
our one of this kind of biggest things in terms of effective practice, and that's what you've been telling me from the start. I think I don't know what to do. Yeah, maybe I have to do this and or this or this. Yeah, there are just a lot of
yeah,
things. So one thing or
yeah,
maybe two things at a time. XYZ is just kind of big helper into
yeah,
lead practice. You kind of move from one thing to another, so you're not losing the learn some picture. It's not like you missing out on something learn some. No, that what matters. Not short term solutions, kind of solving that in the moment, and figuring
yeah,
out 1,000 things what you could be doing, but just one simple solution. But then you can also see what you can do next during the next game. Kind of find one another simple solution for that what you're working on, and then another, and repeat kind of this
mhm,
cycle. Yeah,
yeah.
right.
I definitely can see that I'm definitely feeling the way that I'm seeing it is definitely starting to click. And
Perfect.
obviously, because like I went from losing, losing, losing because I'm overthinking, and it kind of just went like that. And now it's like I'm understanding what I'm kind of having to kind of do. You know, it's
Mhm.
like I think last time I was talking about like, dude, this sucks. This is terrible. I'm having an awful time too.
Okay.
Oh, I'm
Mm.
getting it. And it's like I'm actually kind of having fun with it. Like where I'm like, it's high intensity and stuff like that, but I'm able to like, feel like I'm actually doing something a little bit. You know, and that was what I was struggling with earlier. Was not feeling like I was doing anything. I was like, oh, I'm thinking about what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm checking out all it, checking the XYZs, but like, I feel like I'm not doing anything to like, oh, I'm doing that and I'm being able to do it and I'm sustainably doing it and I'm able to stabilize while I'm doing these things.
This is good. If you can change yourself in the moment that, oh, you're kind of able to do something automatic, I guess it's a good thing. Just don't forget about this tendency, maybe for your mind to kind of pay attention to too many
Want
things and still try to narrow it
yeah.
down for
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah, be
Yeah.
careful. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely, but I can definitely say the things I've been focusing on I've seen some improvement on them. There are you'll see in the VODs. I mean, it's a good thing and a bad thing. Like I said, I think
Mhm. Yeah.
yesterday or the day before, I was like, "Hey, I don't have any losses, but I sure as hell have some close ones." But I was able to, kind of push through and stuff like that. So I don't have any losses, but I definitely have some close wins.
Sure.
Especially the one I sent. I sent you a video that you commented on, and talked about. That one, I mean, I'm. If you watched the end of it, I'm serious. If it wasn't for that C9, I genuinely believe we would have lost. I mean, it was that close. So
Right.
that's definitely what I'd like to look over because I felt so good on the first half, and then the second thing I was just I got so lost. I was like looking at my
Mhm.
team, like, where are we going? We're going over here, and then I start going that way. Then I turn around 2 seconds later, and they're going the other way. I'm like, okay, where are we going?
Right.
And I got really, really lost
Right.
in that second point. And the third point, I was just fighting for my life.
Yeah, it's definitely it's taking time to also getting used to the faster pace. Whenever you're climbing the ranks more and more, it's just uh, gameplay is getting faster and faster.
Hmm.
That is yeah something
Yeah,
something what you're gonna notice too. Yeah, sure, we can
yeah,
take a look at the replays. So yeah, so far you've been implementing all this effective practice notes and well the what
yeah,
about the in-game? So it was difficult to well, still sometimes to synchronize the pressure. Sure, we
yeah,
can maybe look into that a little bit more, just a little bit of awareness.
yeah,
Yeah, looking into that.
yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. And
Um,
yeah,
and then the my team is active. Let's be active. I see. I was looking
sure.
at that yesterday. That's something that I'm still the turning around and looking at my team. I'm I I'm not. I'm failing to see how the initiative things because like I hate to say it, these people at Gold don't have the same training or getting taught the same things I'm getting taught, right? Like, hey, when you
Of course.
put
Sure.
resources in the kill zone, or pay attention to XYZ. So like I see a soldier, use visor. I'm like, great, we're going in. I'm going in. I use shout. I'm like, yeah, let's go. And I'm like, turn around.
Mm.
He's like running away. I'm like, what are you doing? Where are we
Yeah,
going?
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's
Y-
like that part I'm really struggling on trying to figure out how to like sync with my team to be able to be active with them, you
yes,
know?
yes.
So that's
Totally
something I
get
would
it.
like to
Yeah,
kind of
let's.
go over
Yeah,
too.
we can dive into it a little bit more, I guess. So it's just what we've been mentioning so far was kind of basic understanding of where your team is fighting. You understand. Well, it's not about them initiating or something. You just want to look at what is that area where they can be active with their damage, sort of. You're predicting that area. Well, we use
Hmm.
this term kill zone, for example. Kind of more dynamic way of understanding it is just where my team can do damage, where most of my team
Hmm.
can do something. That is the kill zone. This is what you look to do. Try to apply damage there. Yes, your team is not going to be effective, especially in gold, plat rank. Yes, maybe they just get like 20% out of their kit, but that's why they're in their rank. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, you
And
still can
eh,
utilize it as a resource. Mhm.
yeah, and I have a question about a certain spot in one of the other games. Um,
Sure.
so we can take a look at it also is how do I put it? If their tank's in, do you go in, or do you peel for the tank, but jeopardize the space that they created in between their team?
Yeah, I get it. Usually, well, the answer is depends, obviously, in the game like
Yeah.
Overwatch, but most of the time, what I usually recommend in general, you want to trade the backlines, be more proactive with your own tanking
Okay.
game, because you do that, then, well, first of all, whenever you're trying to shut down the tank, most of the times, like this is kind of common problem, most of the time, you dealing with one member, so you're not dragging the enemy's attention like of more members. You're just dealing with one, but you could be dealing with more, like but other four. It's not that you're exposed to all of them and they're all shooting you. It's more of just their attention goes towards you and you surviving, using cover, using cooldowns in a good way.
Yeah.
You're able to get a good cooldown trade there. That's what matters.
Yeah.
There are gonna be definitely situations where the enemy tank goes in really far. Usually, when tank is isolated, you can kind of punish them a little bit more, mm,
Mm.
unless they're playing something like
Yeah.
high
So
mobility, like ball. But yeah,
yeah. So it was a Malga that ran past me, and I took the instinct to just charge in, delete the Zenyatta because I think you and I both agree. Fuck Zenyatta. He's useless, and I no one likes him. And
yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree personally.
yeah, yeah.
sorry,
I think all
sorry,
tanks.
any Zenyatta mains. Yeah.
No, they're all weak and cowards. No. Yeah, they just like ruin everyone's day. It's like going on freaking. I played on the. Did you play the duo thing where like you could play two characters?
I think I did. Well, I did a little, just a little. Yeah,
Oh man, yeah, that was.
there was this hacked version of quick play. That's what you meant?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, that was the worst day of my life. I walk in,
Double
I'm like,
Zen.
yeah, let's play. Yeah, no, it was Moira Zen and then two Bastions and a
Oh,
Malga, and I was like,
that sounds
I'm just gonna
nice.
set down my mouse and keyboard and not play the game today. I'm just not,
Right,
I'm just not gonna play the game today.
right,
I've never
right.
died so fast. It was not even funny. But
Mm, mm.
I know, distracted. But what was I saying? So yeah, I dove the Zen, killed the Zen, and kind of was back in their backline. I did pretty well, but the thing is that my team wasn't able to do as well as I was doing. The Malgo was doing just as much, getting as much, what's the word I'm looking for, value as I was in the background end,
Yep,
and it ended up that
understandable.
now, and at that point, I was alone in the back line and ended up dying because I was doing getting the whole team, but the Malgo was just soloing my whole team also, and you know it was to the point where I killed the Zen, and the Zen was able to come back and kill me with Afara's help. That's how long I was in the back line, So
Right.
I was like, yeah, and I was like, I feel like I didn't know what to do in that position. I was like, I felt like I did it right, and then something went wrong in the middle, and I just didn't catch when to run away or go back to Malga and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
I get it. Yeah, we can take a look. Is there anything else what you want to mention before we start? I guess any questions?
no, I think that's just about everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
sure.
think maybe some other stuff will pop up in the middle, but yeah, I think so far that's just about everything.
Yeah, let's take a look. So are you gonna send me the codes or you save those somewhere? Let
Yep,
me see.
yep. I got the codes. Share,
Yeah,
copy. So, oh, and I guess also on this one, so this icon has two spots in it that I'd like you to take a look at, just so I can understand if I did it right. Okay.
yeah. Let's see.
So the first push here, it took me like as soon as I saw the Orisa, I knew I was going to play for my alt, and I want to know if there was a point in this position. Let me see here.
Mhm.
Come on. Okay, let me pull you down here. Big screen. Okay, there we go. Awesome. Okay,
Mhm.
so if you, so I'm on attack here,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
and um, we obviously we're gonna be pushing here. We're gonna get to this thing. And I just literally had to sit in this little tiny room in that far room over there, if you know what I'm talking about,
Yep.
where
Mhm.
the mega is. I sat in that room going in and out of that room for like a solid like 2 minutes because I was just literally like, once I saw the Orisa, it felt as though it was like, well, I'm just gonna play for my ult, use my ult, and hope for the best because I was like, I can't. I couldn't hit a knife and stuff like that. I hit knives, but like, it was a Hanzo, it was a Lari, um, and a Torb and stuff like that. Everyone could get away from me when I used my knife. So like, if I use my knife on the Lari, bounce away. Use it on the Hanzo, bounce away. Mercy, bounce away. They'd all run away, and the Torb was in the background, having his turret do his job. So it was like, I felt like I had to play for my ult instead of being. I felt like I couldn't be proactive. Is what I'm basically
Mhm.
long
Yeah.
way of saying it.
So was tough to be proactive there, and that's what your question is about, right? Just how to be
Yes, yes.
proactive.
Sorry, I was being long-winded about it.
That's
Yes.
that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Okay, so this is one question: how to be more proactive. Is there anything else?
um. Yeah, and if I would like to see if there was a better position for me. I felt like I was using the corner that I was on really well
Hmm. Oh, I
because I
see.
didn't die and I was taking as minimal damage as possible, but I felt like I felt like I wasn't in the right spot I should have been, you know. So, yeah, this corner, and then I played in the room to the left here for pretty much this whole first push.
Okay, so my instant question to you:
Hmm.
when you're trying to take this choke, and we gonna mention, well, you can use this kill zone concept or just whatever. Maybe understanding the where your team is. Yeah. For example,
Hmm.
you guys fighting for this yellow
Yeah.
area. Okay. How do you drag the enemy's attention off your team with your position? What can you be doing?
That I sat here and I thought about that and I'm like, well, I have two options.
Right.
I can go into that little room, but the thing is that very, very soon you'll see that the Orisa is just sitting at the very edge of that orange yellow square towards my team. I was like, okay, I could be in the room on the bottom end here, but I feel like that would just allow that Orisa just to walk all over my team, and I don't think I felt like I wasn't going to get very much value over there, or I wouldn't be able to make it
Mm-hmm.
because of the
Mm-hmm.
Hanzo was actually hitting his shots, and you'll
Right.
see that my health was just getting tanked.
Right.
So I was like, how do I? And then okay, then and that's where I'm kind of stuck. Like, should I just risk it? Like, that's a part I'm like kind of struggling.
So we want
It's
to be
like,
proactive in the yellow
mm,
space, and you mentioned that two things so far. Yeah, you maybe Hanzo. So Hanzo might be stopping you. That's what you said. There's one.
mm,
Orisa. That was the first thing you mentioned. Orisa going
mm-hmm,
over your backline. Okay, let's address that first. If the Orisa going over your backline, can you
yeah.
potentially be more proactive and go with the enemy backline potentially? Is that something what's possible?
Uh, um, maybe but I mean, I guess I could have pushed past the Orisa, but then I would be afraid that the Hanzo and Torb would just hurt me because Torb would pop his E, Hanzo would pop his E, and I mean I would just get utterly just deleted.
Right.
Eh, and
Sure. Sure.
I don't think I could have been
Sure.
pushed past that.
Sure. But do you see
Oh.
that these guys, Hanzoi, Torbi, they can do the same while you're the position A as well? So this is kind of the similar thing. They can't do it if you're the position B. If you're the position A, yeah? If the main concern, Orisa walks on our team, well,
Hmm.
there's something what can happen. But your main idea of the tanking is you distract an enemy team more while being proactive. And first thing to do something with your position, yeah, is just how do you
Hmm.
position so you turn the attention around a little bit more. So let's say, first of all, just from mechanics perspective, for example, you see where all these guys are looking, right? They're looking at this direction
A, yeah.
A, yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. What position allows you to distract an enemy attention and look make them kind of look away a little bit more potentially. A or
Oh,
B.
B. Okay, I see. So it's not to get into the room, it's actually to sit outside of the room of the mini right there. Just outside is what you're talking about.
Yes,
It's like right.
it's not about just kind of general this room location. I guess you're right about the using the idea of using a room because it gives you cover, right? But you
Mhm.
want to also see that is something we I think talked about some time ago. Try to take an off angle on the
Mhm.
kill zone a little bit more so you can lean towards more
Okay.
proactivity. Now, when you do that, mm-hmm, yeah, Carson?
What to get to I have a question. So let's say to get to point A to point B, I have two options,
Sure.
right? I have to use shout to get to B, just walk through kill zone, right? To potentially try to just get there as fast as
Possibly.
possible. Or should I take the long route and going around that building? What would be the best option to do there?
Yeah, I think both can work. Usually it's better for me if you can take initial rotation. So you're starting with, let me see, you're starting with the spawn room here, okay? What if you use your shout right away, go around this way? What do you think?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, well, I could also do that. I mean, just immediately go there. Yeah,
Yeah, and your
yeah. I
shout
was kind
helps
of
you to
thinking in
go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I was kind of thinking in the position where I was, but if at the start I just went straight there, it would have been way easier. Plus, I would have been able to possibly hit that knife at that kind of position on that staircase on the far side.
Yeah, exactly. So this is what
Yeah.
it's about, kind of. Mm, even
Okay.
anticipating where the area is gonna be, make sure you take the best position possible. Yeah, it's kind of our I like to use three steps. You want to first take the position, make sure you got on the best spot possible with your Jungle Queen. It's more short range oriented character, using rooms, all of that. But I think the big idea when you proactive is taking off angle. So I'm gonna write it down here. And
Hmm.
after you took the position, you want to make sure you control the position so nobody's contesting you. Usually at your rank, people will not contest you as much, but they will
Yeah.
do it later. So maybe a Rissa, somebody that will go after you, but it's just important to understand how do you respond. Yeah, you can always fall back, maybe go forward. Mm,
Yeah.
and
I
after
you'll
that, you
see
use the position.
later on that I feel like I took what you're talking about here very well, and I'd like to see what I think is a good one. Like I think like how I feel like what you're talking about here, how I did it well. I'd like to
Mhm.
see what you think. Like let's say I think it's good. I'd like to see what you think, if
Yeah,
that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah,
If
yeah,
that we can. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
yeah, so I sit here for a solid, probably good almost 2 minutes,
yeah,
just pelting.
yeah,
And you'll see that I finally get to use my ult, so we can speed through
yeah,
here and
and
trying to get to the thing. I
yeah,
don't literally just hook, they bounce away.
yeah. And this what makes it difficult, especially versus the Rissa. See, Arissa's pushing you, and she's pushing your team as well. Imagine she
Hmm.
chooses to push you here, well, your team is free. Or she's pushing your team, well, you're free. Go ahead and kill their backline. It's
Hmm.
always
Hmm.
big advantage of like why you probably been sitting in this room. Yeah, so this is the point we can write down right away. You have to
Hmm.
understand what is that kind of off angle I can take. Mm, I usually like to use this term so it's like even easier to understand. Take 90 angle on the map. For example, your team goes here, position A, you're the position B, you form this 90 angle with your team. They're kind of attacking from the
Okay.
same direction, and this is
I
more
forgot to write down.
perpendicular. Mhm.
Yeah. So take 90 angles. And what was the three-step thing you had for position? I was forgot to write that bit
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was take.
Yeah, it's take, control, and use the position. We'll go through those.
Okay.
I also I wrote it down
Okay.
on my
I
notes
feel
there.
like you said that,
Hmm.
mentioned that before, but since we're on this topic, I might as well get it down.
Yeah, yeah. This is good. Yeah, it's something. Yeah, let's go with that. So first. First part is taking off angles. You can also use your shout to get there. Initial shout to get out the spawn is good enough. You can get it back later. Okay.
Yeah, it's a 15
Mhm.
second cooldown. 20 if you count the 25 seconds that it runs with. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Take advantage of that, and you'll probably see later. Yeah, that's why we're gonna be stuck here. It's just difficult for you to break through. Ultimate helps though. Ultimate is a big thing. Whenever you don't have good position on the map, sometimes, well, sometimes it's not possible. Maybe to set up the best position, so you can use your ultimate and kind of cheat, try to rush through. Yeah, it's good. Ultimate. I should like to say,
It,
ultimate costs a little bit more. It's more valuable than positioning compared to positioning. But if you can get good position on the map, then with ultimate, it's
mhm.
even better.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
imagine
But
you have an ultimate from here, going from this angle B to A. It's like so good. You can always just
yeah, because then I can if they do a lot of damage to me, I can grab that mega and go back in. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so if you speed through here, you'll see my ultimate.
Yeah, let's see.
It'll take a minute here.
Yeah.
It takes a while because I'm shooting an
Yeah.
Orisa and
Yeah, this is what
taking
it
what I
looks
can here.
like. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's just not at the right position. Well, it's a good
Yeah,
room though, but use
yeah,
the room to the right. Similar,
yeah,
like just structures. Yeah.
yeah. I felt like I was using it well. It wasn't
Yep.
effective.
Yeah,
Is how I
exactly,
felt. I was like,
exactly.
man,
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't. I know I'm using this right because, I'm not
Yeah,
doing
you're
nothing.
using the
But
room well. I think you play around the cover well. Don't get me wrong. Yeah,
yeah,
that is something we've been sometimes struggling with. I think. Yeah, we just how
yeah.
to use corners, all of that. But now it feels good.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
feels
I
better.
feel like I'm using really good for corners, and I mean, even in this game, funny enough, I know it doesn't look it, but these guys, the soon to be May, I think, actually like accused me of cheating because I was hitting the knives and like just not dying, like I keep beating at the
Finally,
end.
all the lessons in and Vox the tryhard FFA training paid off.
Yeah, right? It's finally worth it. I got called yeah here, and then I was able to just
You know why you're
you know
gonna win here? Positionally, what is that position you're taking? Is
I'm in their back line now.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and
But
they had all turn around. My team could actually
you see that,
yeah.
right? They turn
Yeah,
at you, and your team walks so easily. Imagine you do it right at the start.
yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is like
That's how we
now I
win.
see. Yeah. I
Right?
see what you mean.
This is
And
really great.
that's like yeah. And like I mean like I was able to you know, kill 2 or 3 here and then, you know,
Yeah, that's great.
I hit a really nice knife on her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good knives,
And
good
then
ultimate. Just do it sooner, I guess. It's just yeah, gotta
yeah, and
start with more quality position at the start.
yeah, so I think if you go to defense, when I'm on defense, so it's probably gonna be like maybe a little bit more than halfway. Halfway through on start where they're at, like Sir or where Mr. Raven is or wherever he is, I'll be right there. And I feel like when I sat in that room and like held that whole castle really well, so we can get there.
Let's see. Good
Yeah, it'll
knife.
get there. Yeah, we can speed through this little bit
Yeah,
of
sure.
the
Yeah,
thing.
just
I think
see.
I kind of
Even
played.
this is better positionally. Your team is attacking from A, you at B, Orisa goes on you. Your team can
Mhm.
walk through just a little. You give them more breathing room. You can go even deeper potentially on the stairs.
I
You
was
have to be
scared because
careful. Oh,
I didn't want to
yes,
get
yes, spear.
speared off.
Yes, spear. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
Right here, I got really scared because I thought I was gonna die, but luckily
yep.
I hit the wall.
Something to track. Right. Okay. Right. Okay, something you mentioned as well. It's been difficult sometimes to maybe synchronize the pressure with your team in this game. Is that the case still?
Yeah, you can definitely see. You'll see me get really confused here in a bit. Actually, I remember this. Yeah, so you'll see me get confused here sometime where I'm like, I don't know where I'm supposed to be going here, and I'm kind of zoned in here, kind of getting a little, zoned in. I try to lock myself. I catch myself. I'm like, okay, where am I doing wrong here? Because we're not moving. You know.
You definitely have to contest this high ground early if
Yeah,
possible.
yeah. You'll see
Follow
me kind of like
position.
want to do it, and I'm trying to get my team to do it. Like I'll stand by here. I'm like, hey, group up, and then I just go up there and do it
Yeah,
myself.
yeah, don't have to. Yeah, you just go by yourself. It's fine. Your team can do their own thing. Somebody occasionally a surgeon takes an angle with you, fine. If they're not, well, at least they can do their own thing, push through the main choke, through the main angle. This is good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I.
And this is also technically this kind of 90 angle when your team goes A from here, you the
Mhm.
B here, you set up really good pressure.
Yeah.
It's alright.
And I got the use that ult to guarantee the kills there, and I die for here. Yeah. I don't feel like I kind of regret using that ult. That was kind of like an instinct cue to get these 2 kills. I don't know if it was because I know if I wanted to kill the 2 healers, because then the Orisa can actually die.
You know,
You know.
it's okay. You know, it could be better, of course, because you're winning with numbers, but you know, it's not like something big to address. I think it's just bigger to, more importantly, pay attention to your initial positioning, how you take this right
Mm.
position to start. Ultimates, to me, seems alright. Yes, you can work on this as well. You don't have to maybe ult them here, but it's reasonable. You probably have to stabilize after those, so you
Yeah, that was a
not
pretty
over
poor stabilization there. Yeah.
not over pushing.
Yeah. I got a little greedy there with the push, and I should have went and grabbed the Mega to heal maybe and then went back on cart maybe.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just right after the pressure usually. So you've done all of this. Now
Hmm.
you have the downtime. You have to look around, check, scout, take a little breather. Yeah, remember something we talked about. Yeah, this setup, pressure. Yeah, this kind of
Yeah.
engagement, and then stabilize. You done all cycles. You gun to the best position possible, like setup. Yeah, you did the
Hmm.
setup. You did the pressure. So stabilize, look around, check what's going on, grab the mega, like we said, and then go on
Hmm.
again. You don't have to be rushed as well. This is a pretty common thing. Whenever you done quality pressure, do not over push it, so you will not get punished with the
Yeah.
rest of the resources. Stay
Yeah.
alive. You can play
Yeah. I sometimes get a little, especially when I get a kill. Yeah, I think we've talked about this before. It's like about the stabilize part is something I
exactly.
struggle with because I can do the first 2 stabilize. I'm getting better at it, but I'm still struggling a little bit just because like if I get 2 or 3 kills, I get the red covered lenses on me and I'm just out for blood at that point. you know, I struggle with that a little bit, but
What do you
sometimes it
think?
works
What
for
do you
me.
think can help you to stay on track? So you just obviously it's easy to say stabilize, but just any triggers we can think about to
Mm.
help you to stabilize. What's
I'm
your
struggling
opinion?
to think of like a way to sense when I'm like, hey, you've done you've officially done your pressure. When is the pressure over? Like when is your pressure
Exactly.
done? When should you do this? Like how to how to realize that you're needing stabilizing before it's too late. I think
Exactly.
I think that's the part that I need to realize, and
hmm
it's something I struggle to kind of notice in the moment.
Exactly. So what do you think can help you right in this moment here? What could be helpful to you? Look at your resources. Look at the situation. What do you think?
Uh, because like if I'm putting myself in this position, I got 400 health. I see a Hanzo. I got shout. I got blade in 2 seconds. You know, I'm like I can kill this Hanzo. I mean, like in my head, to me that's like I can kill this Hanzo. But I didn't look around to see that the Orisa's coming in behind me.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to think of how I can think, or what can I see to
to,
like
to,
really
to
be like,
me, the biggest trigger is always looking at your resources and understanding do you have most of your resources back? Most of resources, not just one or not just maybe most of your HP, but most of the resources. And see, now
mm,
you have your axe down, you have your knife down, but you have shout. You also have down some of your HP. So I would say like around maybe let's put it like 60% or maybe 65% of your resources are down. You have
mhm.
35%, but is it enough? Yeah, is it enough for us to
Okay,
fight?
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay, so I should be looking not at as the situation, more less so,
You can
but
do
more
that.
so,
I think it's just the
yeah.
first part though. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that I think that would make sense for me to actually be able to something that's not the situation because I'm still learning. I'm a
Exactly.
pleb gold player. I
That's
don't
okay.
know the proper situations. Let's be real here.
That's all right.
So I think having tangible something physical that I can see and be like, hey, probably not the. Granted, I can sometimes I can kill stuff without using any resources because sometimes you get lucky, but
Hmm.
having a tangible number like that makes sense to me
Yes.
because like I'm not going to go off of the situations yet because I don't think honestly I can determine those situations yet. I don't think I don't have the mature mind yet for that. I'll be honest. I think
Yep.
having that, I like that though. Looking at my numbers and percentages, and what percentage would you say is like a good number to kind of look for? Being like, okay, is it like, do I have only 40% of my resources, or is it a 50% of my resources? Let me look around. Like
I
what?
I would say when you have most of your cooldowns down, so it's simply you have 3 cooldowns, you have down 2, okay?
Mm.
And then you have to stabilize. It's a good
Yeah, yeah.
trigger for you to stabilize already.
Hmm.
Keeping track of your HP as well. If you're close to half, it's also good trigger. So one, definitely starting with the easiest, half
Hmm.
HP. You have to look
Hmm.
around for sure. Well,
Yeah.
not look around, but kind of stabilize. It's not only
Yeah.
about just scouting your team, but it's definitely our biggest problem. But there also might be other things like understanding their abilities, understanding what the enemies do in general.
Hmm.
So half HP, um, look around. Let's put it this way: yeah, stabilize, kind of. Okay, this is one, and second is gonna be once you have most of the cooldowns down, most of cooldowns down, you do the same. Yeah, you look around, stabilize,
Hmm.
check. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense to me. I can think that in the moment because I'm always paying attention to those things. It's just a matter of putting two and two together. Granted, I got headshotted by the Hanzo here and just got deleted too, which
right,
didn't help at all.
exactly, and there's gonna be a good chance because it's just our HP is also it's pretty tough to do
Yeah.
something with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of
Yeah.
the resources are
'Cause-
down. Well, you can get the knife soon, but it's just you don't have it yet, so you do not make that decision to push right after.
Yeah.
You stabilize
It's
and then make a decision to
yeah.
push. If
It's
need.
not about having a half glass half full type situation. Half full. I mean, like half your resources. It's about half empty. It's
Yep.
always half empty, not half full. You gotta
Yes.
think worst
Yes.
case scenario. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I
Exactly.
can.
You know, at the high level, you will recognize when you can squeeze a little bit more value, but it's just kind of I think good reminder, general reminder, looking at your resources at the start now, and then later you can um be looking at more advanced situations, kind of seeing, well, I have my resources down, but I still can make that push because of this kind of, I don't
Mhm.
know, because of something. Yeah, what I can give you, for example, in that room, well, maybe Orisa is 1 HP. I know she used all of her cooldowns, and these guys also, on the hand, they used all of their cooldowns too, because Overwatch is a game of resources. So even one resource covers all of their resources because they don't have any. So you can make that
Mhm.
push. It's just always like that. But if I just
Yeah.
like let's
the,
go
the
back.
the resource mentality is definitely important for me
Yeah.
because I believe that it is that the mentality I'm trying to have because
Hmm.
sometimes my aim is just a brain dead monkey, but I try to get past that. But
So I actually think it's a good point as well. Something what can help you to just try to track the enemy's cooldowns, enemy's abilities in general. Because
mhm,
now you're going in a fight, okay? There's another thing. Definitely, you look at your resources, you make a decision to stabilize, but also understanding theirs resources as well. Arisa is pretty low on the resources. She got the spear, so you definitely win 1v1 with Arisa. However, Hanzo has full resources, everything. Now,
mhm,
potentially, if that is something you're tracking, you can make a decision of pushing or not pushing because there's an E or the
mhm,
Hanzo. There's it's a really dangerous with the full HP Hanzo Sonic Arrow to be able to push here. Well, you have your support with you, but it's also the question: do they
yeah,
have their own resources? So you have the Skiri, she's down resources. The Sly Fever, he
and
got
he's out
only.
of. He only
Yeah,
got grapple. Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, I see. I
But
see where we're at. Yeah, yeah, it makes total sense. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We're that whole situation. just needed to be more. I needed to take off the the blood cover glasses are great and all, but I need to take them off and actually look and actually make an instinctive decision of like better safe, especially in the lower elos. It's way better just to play it safe, stay alive instead of
Mm,
taking it.
I would say it's good to be proactive, but you know, it's a good start always. No, and I
Mhm.
think this will always. What do you need to do more? Try to experiment, but just see if there's the right moment. You can kind of find those additional factors to just like be able to stay safe. Yeah, be able to survive
Mhm.
in those situations. But is a general mindset? It's all good. Being proactive is all good.
Yeah,
I think there's no
yeah.
problem. I think for us actionable things, what can be is tracking enemy cooldowns specifically. I usually suggest to look at the enemy composition and just think what can
Like
do really big burst to you, starting
yeah,
with that.
yeah, I can do. I'm still learning to do that. I can do tanks. I'm really good at keeping tanks. That's why
Sure.
even with as Junker Queen fighting Orissas, I'm not scared of them. I don't fear Orissa because everyone spouts how Orissa is a counter for Junker Queen. I've never felt that. I actually prefer it because
Well,
I
all this
I don't
counter
know who.
thing. Well, it's not really.
Yeah.
Most of it not really applicable to your rank, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
People
Makes
making
us. That's one of those.
excuses.
Yeah, people making excuses or whatever. But I like it because Orissa's. I just there's some who said that I don't remember. Don't shoot the horse is what I is something I've always said, and I tend just to ignore Orissa, and I can actually, and that's one of the strongest parts about Jungle Queen is ignoring the tank and just deleting her
One
backline, and yeah, yeah.
really
I don't like Orissa anyways.
wise quote from one of the monks from Nepal or something, right?
Yeah, yeah, right. Rise Monk once said, "Fuck Ursa." Yeah,
Don't shoot the horse. Okay, okay, no,
yeah,
but
yeah.
this
Who
makes
said that?
sense.
Gosh, I think it was Emong or something. I can't remember who said it. Someone said, "Don't stop shooting the horse." And I
That's
was like, "Oh,
right.
that makes sense." Yeah,
That's
but
right.
yeah, we can go here.
Yeah,
I
so
don't know.
our actionable things then, when you tracking, okay, to like get to the previous point, tracking big burst cooldowns and just
Uh,
specifically always understanding when I'm going in, are those are present or not? If they are, I'm trying to be more careful and stabilize and kind of look around. Yeah, if they are in the fight, stabilize. Yeah, I think pretty good thing. Look at the enemy composition, by the way. What does a lot of burst on the enemy comp? The blue one.
mhm.
What
Say
do
again.
you
I'm sorry.
think? Yeah, yeah. What does a lot of burst? What do you think? And their
Oh,
composition.
Hanzo. For right now, two both DPS do definitely do burst. I mean, um,
What cooldowns you can track?
oh, cooldowns. So I don't know. Fire. Storm arrow. Um,
Storm
beam
arrow.
to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what her little balls are. Explodey
Yeah,
balls. I can't
bombs.
remember her the
Bombs. Yeah,
bombs. I can't.
that's right.
Yeah, bombs. Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
they just
explode.
called
Those.
bombs. It's right.
Oh, really? That's it? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I thought they would think of some magical name for them. Anyways, so the bombs, beam if from low, um, Junker Queen, obviously,
Chunkaku next, man.
Carnage.
Yeah, Carnage.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So see, all of this is valuable for you to track. You can even track something up to the Solari burst shot, but
Yeah.
you don't have to. You can always start with 1, 2, and I think what you mentioned at the start, Hansa's Storm Arrow, this beam and bombs together with the combo on the
Yeah.
echo.
I try to bait.
This is
One
something
of the
to
things
start with. Yeah.
yeah, one of the things I need to transition to burst damage, but I've been paying attention more to movement abilities. Like I pay attention to Ilari's
Good,
dash
good,
and
good.
the dash of Hanzo. I try to bait those a lot because then I can pull them in and just
This is
ruin them.
great. So see, you're already doing that. Start paying attention to burst, and you can solve this kind of safety problem as well.
Yeah,
And it's gonna be easier to stabilize, I think. Now,
yeah,
and you definitely hit a lot of knives too, so it shows you definitely keep track on the cooldowns, all of that. So you see, you definitely do not hit the knife right away. Maybe you kind of wait for. Well, this might be you missed it because I think she also still. Let me see. She still
she
has
didn't
the
have
Guardian
she didn't
Angel. Or she? Oh, she didn't.
She did. She didn't use it. She used it to
Yeah,
dash
yeah, yeah, yeah.
across.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it's alright.
Yeah.
Well, it's usually would be better, of course, if you force that
Yeah.
first and then you use the knife. But yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think it's the biggest thing
Guardian
at this
Angel, I
point of
try
time.
not to. I don't really focus that one much because it's it's almost impossible. I don't get me started on frickin' Mercy, dude. I don't know what to do. There are some I genuinely don't know what to do. Like if I've had it multiple times where a Mercy will literally res in front of me and I can headshot her with the shotgun and I can't kill her faster than she can revive it. It's so infuriating, especially if she has a pocket. I can't do anything. It's so infuriating. Ugh, boils my blood. It happened to me so many times in these games. Oh,
Let's see.
they
Let's
have
see.
so much confidence that
So,
freaking.
so I think the second point went well overall. Well, of course, there's some cover usage can be improved. The mechanics, it's alright. I think the just faster taking the position on the top. That's something you can do for sure. But yeah, like let's keep going. Let's see.
Yep. Here I I I did that because I knew that the I checked the Kiriko's position to kill someone behind me because I knew that she'd use the what's it call it on herself. So I was able to do that.
You see that? There's a big risk. You're gonna die there. I think. Look at you using
Yeah.
axe. But why is that the case? So see, you have to be careful, right? You see, you have two resources down. You have to be really careful what's going in at this point of time,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah. That
when
makes
the
sense.
card they just breaking through, and you actively committing. This is fine, but maybe do it slightly later. Just take your time, take a breather, look around. Your angles are peaking, and then go
Yeah.
in so these
Okay.
guys can contribute a little bit more. And see, this is exactly when you had your most of the resources been down. So it's like went well overall, but it's just there's high risk. I think
Yeah. That was definitely risky. I agree.
it's not like they're gonna punish you instantly. It's just high risk of receiving a lot of burst
I
and
remember this.
unnecessary burst.
Cover your eyes for this. Oh God.
Nice.
I'm so terrified. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's the one thing I've definitely got annoyed with and had to really learn is not wasting carnage, throwing my knife and trying to knife an Alari and wasting my carnage on her when she uses her dash. And that's something I've gotten a lot better with, and it's definitely helped out a lot. Holy crap. Because I used to waste. So I sit on this corner here, and this you're about to see me push here. This is where I was talking about. I go on the Zen, delete the Zen, kind of get lost, and then I end up in the background line, and I'm like, oh crap, you know. It's better to see it kind of above. I felt, but you can look through my eyes. I think you'd
Yeah.
see it also.
Sure. I think my initial question would be the same as when you took the first fight. What do you think about your launch, your off angle? What is that position you're gonna be taking?
Um, so I guess the same spot B where we were at, perhaps, but I sat. So if the entrance, the staircase right there, that's where I was at. Because my team is kind of sits. I believe my team sits at A for the most part. So I sat on C. But I guess B would be a good spot for John Queen because then they would have to go into that little room.
I think it's a good start. Right, and I think you also have easy access to their backline as well. So see if the Orisa is going to push A. Well, it doesn't matter who.
Auga now.
Maybe Mauga. Yeah, it's still kind of similar thing
Yeah.
to us. If they are pushing our backline, well, I'm creating my own pressure towards their backline, and if they try to pressure me, well, I can kite a little, but still, you can do it in a way. So maybe like go on the stairs, or maybe go towards the C, but now because they attacking through the B, when you see this is really good 90 angle and the backline is still gonna be exposed. This is what you do, be more dynamic with those positions, definitely. But start with this biggest pressure, 90 angle. Why it's good? You turn the enemy's attention. So this Mauga, imagine you not here with your surgeon, you're right there, maybe shooting early knife, maybe even going here. They look at you. Well, your surgeon is free to shoot her railgun. Maybe your Anna don't have your Kiri, maybe your Bastion, they're also free to do their own stuff too.
Mhm.
You just
Okay, that
you
makes sense.
unnecessarily dragging the attention towards your surgeon, and she's gonna be forced out quicker from here. And well,
Okay, that makes
yep.
that makes sense.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll see
This
here.
corner is
It
not
happens.
bad though. Overall, it's yeah,
I definitely I agree that yours is way better than this. I mean, I sat here and then as soon as I saw that, I went in,
huh,
killed the kill that, go in, grab the little
yeah.
health pack, and this is where it started falling apart because my hand stopped working here. I'm already out of shout, I'm already out of knife, and I'm like crap, you
And
know,
you see
because I
this immense distance as well from the back
yeah.
line from position 1 to 2. Yeah, like see this is like much easier to, I think,
Mm.
close the distance with. But this is my well can be good timing. I like the mindset though, the direction. Yeah, you're going in towards the back line. You're not going after the Maug. That does make sense. You're going after the follow up. That's what most tanks would do. They would try to go after the Mauga, I think at your level at least, because he's running in, he's making things happen, and this is much better. This is nice. You definitely stay alive here as well. Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, I
You
can't remember what I do here. I think I get a little panicky here. I try to get get a little overzealous there. I overextend way too hard right there. I get my blood in my eyes there, yeah. And then I
well,
kind of get stuck
this
here.
is better because you have most of your cooldowns, like what we mentioned before. You going in with the shout and axe and full HP, so you have a high chances of living through. Yes, some of your members that die, but I think this is fine risk. Well, fine proactivity to me. If you know where you're going, you're going from one corner to another as well. And this is looking good to me, to be honest. This is really good pressure. This is what you want to do more. And if they
Yeah, and
turn
then
it
I
to you,
kind of
they're not dealing with the point. And this is the main
yeah.
point of the tank. You
Yeah, but
just
my
have
whole
to
team's
survive.
dead now, so I'm like, yeah,
Yes,
I do not
whatever,
survive because then I get a far on
whatever,
me.
whatever. Yeah, they
Yeah.
they die.
Eh,
It's okay.
they die, they
That's
die.
fine.
And
That's
then,
fine.
yeah, the
That,
Zen comes out and spawns and eats my life.
This is great though. This is fine overall. Of course, maybe some of the micro small things here and there, but I don't think it's the most important at this point
Yeah,
of
so
time.
here, this is where I felt like I did the best, right here. I sat in this thing, and this was my home. This little room right here. It wasn't until a Pharah uses her alt and deletes me instantaneously, which I really had no power over. I used my alt here.
What do you think
Kiri,
about getting slightly better setup here? What could you be doing? Remember this
um,
idea of 90 angle, trying to kind of maybe specifically about
I
your ultimate. Yeah.
I
What do
could
you
have
think?
probably came out the other door, but I wanted to get the Zenyatta.
Sure, sure,
Um
sure, sure. This
um
this can work. I'm just a bit worried. What if we exposed to all of this unnecessary damage here? First of all, yeah, starting with maybe going. There's a Farah, there's a Mauga, Kiri, and Ash on us in the space where most of your team they can't do much at the moment. Yeah, it was good
oh, I
kill.
see.
So
Good kill. I got little again red colored glasses
So,
and
so how to
yeah.
make it more useful? Well, let's try to get the same kill, but be contributing to this area where your team can be more active most of all time. What can you be doing with your position here?
Um hmm.
Think about where you set up initially, where you end up with your ultimate.
I'm trying to think here. So
So you did this 1 to 2.
yeah,
Your team
one
can
to
see your
two.
2. Yeah.
Yeah, so so to because in order to get the Zen, I had to get I baited the ult
Mm-hmm.
with my ult. I knew I was going to hit in two separate spots.
Mm-hmm.
That I that's something I can think of usually because especially playing against Kiri, you have to kind of separate her, bait the target. Is baiting, I guess, is where I bait the tank at like medium health and then go for a backline because I know
Sure.
I can't kill a tank with my ult, but I know I can kill backline and I bait. And every Kiriko in the universe has an instinct to throw their Suzu at the tank, so I use that.
Sure.
But to get it to, oh, But to
Now
do
problem
that,
is we end
and
up at 2. There's
yeah,
really
that's
there's
the
really
big
bad.
problem. Okay, so I mean, I guess then going out the other door and then ulting up to Malga would have been the best
Exactly,
option.
exactly.
Yeah,
And see,
yeah.
you repeating the same kind of, well, you go after Zenyatta, sure, and you can also end up in this off angle kind of this room maybe if you like, but your team is gonna help you. Just be more
Okay.
consistent with.
So instead of going to Malga, like go dropping down, potentially killing the Zen, and going up to Malga, go to that room with my ult. You're saying?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
the Maug is the last thing you have to deal with on the field anyway. You again look into get more of a backline trade. Well, you still can shoot the Mauga while rotating in the room, but it's just, well, if the Mauga goes in you, well, so you can maybe try to kite, and then also get their backline and your team they
Mm-hmm.
able to rush Su a little bit more. See if we on the same angle with our team. Not as a deal. Well, you the pressure goes to you. The pressure can also go to your team as well. You don't want to do that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, try to lean towards more of a off angle. Take 90, and then with your ultimate end up in the spot where your team can support you. You remember that good ultimate at the start here when you rush through the gates. You ended up here, but why it worked? Your team can help you. Your team can easily
Mm-hmm.
help you with the sidelines. That was great though, but just make
Yeah.
sure you end up. Yeah. So I'm just gonna phrase it this way: ult usage, end up on off angle. That is great, but make sure your team have line of sight on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, consistently.
Yeah.
Because this is something what might get your resources for. See, because of your position where you end up now, you have to use shout to compensate for your bad position here.
Yeah, I
You
remember you talking about that. Yeah, compensating with shout. I have compensation issues. All right, don't worry about it.
compensate.
What of it?
That's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll solve those problems slowly.
And right there is that a good way of using ult. So you saw I try to
Mm.
save my I think one of my teammates. I think it was my Life Weaver. He was in that
A
room, and
shout?
I shouted to give him the 50 health.
Yeah, it can be. It can be. You know, it's
I
always.
try to use it that
Yeah.
way. I don't know if that's a good way of using shout. I'm like, oh shoot, my teammate, and I go run up there, I'm like,
Yeah.
and I shout to kind of help them get out of positions. I don't know if that's a good way of doing things.
It's a niche thing, but it's always there should be a good reason why using your ability. Mostly, we using shout when there's kind of some sort of things are going on in our kill zone. Yeah, we starting the pressure. Yeah, we notice most of our team is active. Let's do something. Yeah, let's use shout. But then there also might be exceptions. Remember, when you use shout, if you can get a kill on somebody, let's say this Ash, there's good
Mhm.
shout usage, sure, and this can be other side of the coin. If your teammate is getting killed, he is really close to dying, I think you can save his life with the shout. It's fine if you know this is gonna be the thing. Yeah, if you actually save him. So it's
Yeah,
just
which I luckily I did, so
yeah.
we were good.
Well, this is just there's a three. Well, let me see. So there's a
Was there a tree? I can't
yeah. I
remember.
think this is okay. Yeah, this is alright. Well, you can maybe still kind of give him a little bit of credit. He has the cover, so maybe you don't
Yeah,
have to. But this is like fine direction. This is like not too well. Good. Let's put it this way. Good.
good
What is the word?
mindset,
Good
bad
mindset.
execution.
Yeah. It's alright.
Yeah,
Okay. Also, what's our plan for the next? I just see we have some time left.
we've been on this one for a while, so yeah. If you
Yeah.
want to, I mean, that was the main thing. Is like using that room and how I used it. I feel like I
Yes.
used it really well. Granted, later on, I go up to I got pushed. They push me in. I go upstairs and then I get ulted by this Pharah and me and Kiri die. They get second point. I stop them. I mean, if you want to look at that real quick, we can. But I know we're kind of tight
Yeah.
for time because we only
It's up
have
to
what
you. If you
30 minutes to an hour left. I don't know.
Yeah,
30
yeah,
minutes.
exactly. We can use that to what review in addition, or we can do a game. But yeah, I think in our case, what review is fine if you like. Yeah, we still
Um,
can do that. So you wanna so again, sorry, you wanna watch this through, or you got the another replay code?
um, it's up to the next. The other thing would be pretty in depth too, because there's a lot. That was a whole
We
other,
can do.
a whole last point was just
Yeah,
second
sure.
point was brutal. If you want to like quickly go through
Yeah, we
that,
can do. We can do that. Yeah.
okay.
So
We
we'll see
get
any
the
patterns as well. This is good.
yeah. I have multiple. I have 5 games, so I can if you we can also go through those and find patterns also
Of course.
of like what really
Of
is
course.
kind of. This is Lijiang Tower here. This you've seen the last point of this one is the second point, if I remember correctly. I felt I first point I was just Reinhardt main all the way, did really good. Second point struggled. I felt I think it was the tower. Is it tower?
Yeah, let's see.
No, I can't remember which point it is. My brain's not working. I don't know the name of it, but
Legion Tower and
yeah, Lijiang Tower.
you mean the points? Just the name of it. Well,
Yeah,
there's a market, there's a control center, and the last one. Yeah, sometimes I
yeah.
forget
I got
them.
my
Yeah.
honor was on the line. I had to win this match. I had to go Ryan.
Oh,
Yeah, this was a Ryan v Ryan map. They told me to go Ryan. I said sure. So
yeah, sure.
I mean, there was a little bit of some wonkiness, but ended up doing okay.
Okay.
This match I gotta kind of remember. I can't remember quite what's going on here.
And so you get the May there. Let's see. I think the fight is going overall well for you. So see, this is exactly the moment you do that here. Just make sure you do it with a Junker Coin too. You got your armor completely forced out, so you stabilize it. This is what you want to do. Just when most of your resources are out, especially your HP, you stabilize. Once it's in, you go a little bit deeper. See, now you have all your resources. Also, Ryan uses pin, so quite easy for you to look for this pin. I would look for the pin of the map personally, because there's a big chance you can get
Bigger
healed.
disrespect? No.
Well, there's a chance you can get healed. Also, this same thing as Junker Queen. If you end up in the spot where this is an off angle, but your team can help you, they will help you because you're in the doorway. So it's alright. It's even better. So in their backline, it's yeah, why not? This is also fine, but you know.
Yeah, I see what you mean, because she could have easily used Suzu there.
Yeah. It's just something something to keep an eye on. If you, especially if it's the tank, if you can get them off the map, better. It's better because the tanks, if they get healed, it's just impossible to destroy. Okay, you can push up a little bit more. Let's see.
Yeah, I was kind of looking through. I'm doing like using my shield
scouting.
as like a third person. Yeah. Third person stuff. Man, I gotta remember this one. This first point, I just remember what's winning this first point pretty well. I don't remember much what was going on here. I think
Okay, so there's a shadow. And see, kind of go back to our previous things which you mentioned, kind of tracking enemy cooldown. So it's track big burst. If they're in a fight with stabilizing, but you can also track the enemy defensive abilities as well, if you like. For example, here, what is this kind of big defensive stuff on their team?
Oh, Suzu.
Yeah,
Suzu's a big thing. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I was hoping to get her in this, but yeah, you win some and you lose some there. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
exactly.
Suzu is definitely one of the biggest team or tank's biggest nightmares. So yeah, definitely.
Exactly. So, is there a way for you to kind of bait it out potentially?
As Rhine, if they were a good as Kiriko charge,
Sure, can work.
getting someone low, which is kind of difficult in our current spot. As Rhine, I don't have a lot to bait Suzu.
Yeah, I think you're right. Mainly, it can be pin, and this is kind of again more proactive approach. You baiting out something with the cheaper resource. Again, better cooldown to 8 pin versus Suzu. It's better always, and looking for the shadow after definitely. you can
Mhm.
you can work
Yeah.
this out. So it's just about the execution. Yeah, how do you do that? Probably just you need some better setup. See, maybe you can go for the pin. Maybe going from here again. You can set up this. Use this knowledge of 90 angles. Yeah. For example, your team is
Yeah.
attacking from A. You can kind of set up something on your own from B. Maybe it can be other way around. Usually, maybe getting somebody off the map there, for example, can be valuable. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's just first tracking abilities, bait them out, or you can also stabilize this sort of thing. Okay, you get the Genji,
Get the
get the Rein here, almost.
yeah. I forgot about that stupid little blip.
That's alright.
Yeah. So I do pretty good here. It's the second point that's just
Yeah, okay.
brutal.
Yeah, okay, we can
Yeah.
skip through then. Yeah, I think
Yeah. I feel like I don't want to like skip over the things that I do wrong here because I want to see what
yeah.
honestly, but it's like
Overall, this looks fine. I don't see any major things. Well, besides the tracking the enemy defensive, again, something what helps us because we're working on awareness anyway. Something you mentioned to make it easy for you to stabilize, make it easy for you to just make the right decision, going or not. Starting with that, it's a good
was
good
this.
thing. And
Oh yeah,
still,
this is the second point. Yeah,
yeah.
this was brutal, man. You've seen this part right here. This part, I think. No,
I need
was
to
it this
ask
point? No.
this. You fighting for this space here? Well, it's just kind of
Mm.
common space to fight for. Instantly,
Mhm.
where can you set up your 90 angle of pressure potentially? What is that position you can lean towards?
Point. I mean, point would be a good one. Or
Mm,
no, because then they would just shoot me from there. So it would probably be that room.
you
But then I wouldn't
can
have
use the
team
point. Yeah,
help.
it's just usually there's gonna be some difficulties because if you on the point and you don't have this power position, remember we're fighting for power positions on the map because they're giving us more options on what to do. From here,
Mhm.
have the option to go here, option to go there, option to go there, and you also have small HP packs on each side and the big one there. So that is definitely
Yeah,
the position you have to fight for. So I think it's leaning towards this kind of A side, yeah. So you're not just going
getting
from
pelted.
this, yeah, even
Yeah.
when you're this small rooms, you still think, what is that position I can lean towards so you can do this kind of more perpendicular pin or pin towards your team as well, if you
Hmm.
like. You can definitely take those more positions as Ryan. I could even say take those 180 angles sometimes if possible. 180 is just going around kind of flanking this sort of stuff. Because this is what makes it difficult. You cannot win frontline pressure anyway versus the Bastion, especially.
Yeah. Yeah. You see that when my health disappears instantaneously,
Yeah.
and I definitely feel it here. I start as soon as I saw the Bastion, I was like, crap, because
Ye-
I struggle with Rhine with Bastion a
right,
lot, and I
right.
don't.
You see
And
you see that though when they're in the turret mode. What should you be doing right here?
I actually didn't even see it happen here. I thought the Rhine hit me into the next universe when I
Ex-
first died. I didn't even know they had a
exactly,
Bastion. I
exactly.
just got
So
because my health literally
tracking, yeah.
disappears.
The
Yeah.
track, that's why track and big burst whenever. Before the fight, press stop, check, maybe activate scout. Yeah, I'm going in the fight instantly. Question: 1, 2 things with a big burst. Okay, I instantly see the rail and Bastion is the biggest threat to you, possibly. So
Yeah.
whenever this is happening, I stabilize. So if I know this is happening, how do you stabilize here? What do you do?
Uh, um, I should have just jetted back to that the mini.
Sure, maybe, or even use Discover, so it's gonna be more tricky, but you can. You can
Oh
still
yeah, yeah. Then or
move
walk
around.
backwards. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
move.
Just walk
Yeah,
backwards. Yeah,
even
yeah,
better. So you can maybe trade more resources
yeah. I
with
just
their
did.
team.
I did not. I'll be honest. I did not see that Bastion go into the freaking turret form. He was
Right.
hiding behind the big oaf of a Rhine, and I just got exploded. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Sounds can be also helpful, just in general, enabling something. So, well, not
Yeah,
enabling, but paying attention to. If they do something at the Bastion, there's a
yeah,
beeping sound. There's a Rhine. When they do the pin, they also make the sound. Yeah.
yeah.
So all
Yeah,
this.
I struggle with hearing because I guess you don't know. I struggle with hearing.
Hmm.
Both my ears are super high, super sensitive, so I have to have my
I
sound
see. I
really,
see.
really low. Yeah.
I see.
So
That's right.
it's one of those things that I try my best to hear as best I can, but I can't turn it up higher
That's
than
right.
maybe 20%. Yeah.
There's no
Struggles of
problem.
yeah, struggles of being an American and shooting guns. No, but no, but no, but it usually that's the opposite where you can't hear nothing. But no, I couldn't hear very well, or I can hear really well, but it's super sensitive.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. It's all right. You know, as then scout for visuals a bit more in your case. It
Yeah,
can be visuals of the shots. It can be just visuals of the characters, and pressing tab is a big thing. I guess all of
yeah,
those, but
yeah. I think that one time right there is I just didn't see the Bastion, and I died before my brain, like in less than 30 milliseconds, and my brain just couldn't like comprehend what
right.
happened. I died so fast, but I think I play it pretty carefully here, and I think I play a little too careful sometimes.
hmm
Oh, that hurt. That stung my soul.
This right
That was
here,
rough.
yeah, definitely. Kind of maybe letting them through a little bit more, so
Mm.
you gonna be able to get more help there. Well, it's possible to maybe get the shadow like that if you're confident and you can land the shadow on the Rhine, because you can get a kill. There's a tricky way, but
What?
you can just actually charge him through here if you like,
Mm.
but you know, it's
Yeah,
just
that was weird how the Rhine popped up like that instead of getting shattered.
yeah. There's let me see. There was something what booped him from, I think it was Junkard Mine probably. Let me see. Probably yeah. So it's just one,
Oh, I
two.
had.
Yeah. Sometimes it's happening. Something you cannot control. Yeah, it's Junkard Mine. Here we go. But it's anyway.
Ah,
We
that's
wanna
tough.
wanna let this guys a little bit towards our angles potentially, so it's gonna be easier for them to do
Yeah,
something.
give a little bit of space there. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, that's tough.
Was good overall. Was the corners all of that? Yeah.
Yeah,
Shield
I definitely
management is
felt.
good as well. You definitely don't waste it too much. Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, that's good. I feel like my Rhine's pretty good.
Nice. Those skills there, you can contest the point. Yeah, I think this moment you actually been asking me the timestamps there on the
Yeah, I
yeah, in the
think.
Discord. Yeah. I told you it's fine. Yeah, it's just when you have these moments, you have to contest the point. There's percentages here. You can get a little bit of traits as well. That is okay. You're farming your ultimate as well, which is great. You stolen the point. That is great again too. Got a couple of kills there. That is
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, I had just no help
You
here,
actually
so
got three, which is even better.
yeah, the final die with honor type situation there.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
was tough.
And even
Oh my
here, you
gosh,
guys
that was.
gonna win most likely. It's not too bad. Well, you get shot at there. There's no
Yeah, that was
big
just
thing.
tough. I walked around the corner at the worst time.
See, now you have to be careful in the moments like this.
Yeah, I got a little greedy here because I walked at that Bastion when he had
Exactly.
in
Yeah.
turret form.
Now this is exact the moment when you have to click stabilize. You don't have to rush anything. Just hide around the spiller right there.
Yeah, this is where I started. This is definitely when I started feeling the effects of that mess up. I was like, man, I'm panicking at this point. Really,
Right.
really struggling here.
Right. Yeah.
And
So
I know, like,
finding
I
those
lose.
figures should help for sure. I
Yeah,
like this attempt. Generally works, but all this pressure before because he was doing it, not stabilizing. Now you don't have armor. The same thing you could be doing with full armor. But this is good. Why I like it? So break it down again. 90 angle, great. Your team is taking A. You're going from here. Good time in your role as well. You just didn't have resources, so in this case,
I should have
probably
grabbed the Mega. Yeah, should have
yeah,
grabbed the
yeah,
Mega.
yeah. But I don't think this is what got you to this point is that your pressure on the Bastion before. Yeah, you could have your
Mhm.
armor here potentially if you did play around the cover. So yeah, you just I always want to look at why initial core route.
Core reason. Yeah,
Core
yeah. I
reason,
see what
yeah,
you mean.
yeah. This you
I
can
get the
survive still.
Sojourn. I think.
It's just
Yeah, I
harder.
think I.
Yeah, it's just harder
Yeah, I think I got.
without armor.
Yeah, I could have survived that and got away with that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because this is a good thought process. Because sometimes people they see, oh, like I died there, but there was bad play because of it. No, there's a thing with this type of death that was fine. It's just the management of your resources before. Yeah, what was leading you to lose that much armor before the fight that could be solved.
Okay.
I like the proactivity all the time. It's something you want to do more. Definitely, you don't want to peak even with the 5 stack there. Again, who gets better cooldown trade, you or him? Yeah, just with the
Yeah.
bastion, you have to be careful. So it's just a little bit of micro, but
Yeah.
but-
I feel like my Reinhardt is actually pretty okay. It's the only problem is Reinhardt just is really hard to play at this exact moment,
sure,
which kind
yeah,
of sucks.
yeah, makes sense.
I love playing Reinhardt. Reinhardt's a
Yeah. I'm personally
uh,
Ryan main myself as well. Been playing
I,
him quite a lot, so yeah, it's I get it.
yeah. I was actually swapped from. I was actually swapped from Ryan to Junker Queen so I could play ranked a bit more.
Oh, it's all right.
It's not by choice, but I felt like I was actually getting more value as Junker Queen than Ryan
As
sometimes.
as long as you enjoy, I think it's just the biggest factor. You definitely, I wouldn't say you cannot, especially like at this point,
There's like
play rank
Cloudy and
here.
stuff like that new and people that actually are good at Ryan. I feel like I'm okay at Ryan, but I don't feel like I'm
Yeah,
good enough
it's
to like,
just
go 1v1 against you because I don't think I'll ever be that good.
it's just up to you again. If you get more enjoyment, I would say this: if you get more enjoyment from playing Ryan compared to Junker Queen, then probably you can play Ryan even at this rank. You can get enough value. If not, if you like kind of Junker Queen and Ryan similarly on similar level, then well,
Yeah.
why not to
I
play Junker Queen? She's slightly better, of course. Yeah, sure, long term.
Yeah, I go off the mentality it's like you get told all the time, especially even I have like one or two friends that are actually Stu Johnny and stuff like that, and one other guy that have been top 500, and I was a tank main at the time, and they kept telling me, "Oh, just stop playing Ryan, you'll climb," stuff like that, and I was like, well, "Okay,"
Yeah.
because
Well,
I mean, if you look at my account, I have over 200 hours on Ryan, and I did nothing but play Ryan and Anna were my two play characters I played at all. So yeah.
Well, honestly, you can. As I mentioned, all this counter swapping, all of that, really applicable to the more applicable, yeah, more so it applicable to the high ranks,
Hmm.
really high ranks. So it's just you can still get enough value if you like playing Ryan more. Sure, why not? It's just what Junker Queen is good at. You can kind of pull the angles towards you whenever you can get access, like all this high guns here. Sometimes you can get there with the Ryan Junker Queen. Just her shout as well. It's quite. It can be quite oppressive with the if you have kind of stacked team together, all of the members stacked together, you rush something together, can be quite good. As a Ryan, you actually play more of like a tracer most of the time. It's weird to say, but it's just the way
It makes sense though.
yeah, it's just with it's been like that for a while. Actually, I could say because you have more mobility, you can set up on more aggressive angles, kind of go behind the enemy lines, and then set up your own pressure from there with the pin. But you just have more sustain. You like a tracer, but you have less blinks. You cannot maybe grab as many HP packs, but you can definitely do this more of a flanky approach. Try to exist on this off angles more. It's definitely the way to go most of the time. Yeah, so I
Yeah,
think most of it is just what was the biggest thing here. Definitely the burst. You have to track that. You can miss that. Ultimates, well, sure, could be better sometimes too, but yeah, some micros here and there could be better, but sure. I think well, you still gonna win this somehow. Let me see.
yeah. This is a miracle win right here.
They
Just
didn't
just
touch the
wait.
thing,
It's
yeah.
a goddamn miracle. Someone touches. I think it's Tracer. Yep.
Yeah, just Svevia one, Tracer survives, and then there's a nade. Bastion gets killed. Your Tracer's doing really well there, and then coming back.
and then it's a it's just the
Oh, the
stupidest
big
thing.
tire. I see. Okay.
Big
That's
tire?
yeah, the big tire. Yeah, the tire is incoming.
The tire I don't think only gets one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's still this is
Yeah.
decent.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here and I hammer him down and he flies and the and they C9 right there.
Okay.
Like I was sitting there like,
All
how
right.
did we win this? Yeah. I don't even know. You'd have to replay that because I still don't know how I like
Oh,
the
they
Rhine
didn't
literally
touch.
flew.
They didn't touch. It's just how the Rhine flew again. The junket mine,
Oh, Junkrat
100%.
mites. Yeah, that those
Yeah.
things fucking the knockback, man, insane. Look at that. So in this flying.
Yeah. He's just in the air there, right there, and they just is on the edge to touch, but he didn't. So yeah.
I did kill the Rhine too, which is actually we probably would have won that too.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Anyways, yeah.
but
I
in
think.
my head after that game, I was like, I'm done. I'm gonna go lie down. I was worn out mentally. But yeah, that
Oh, that's all
yeah.
right. Okay, well, we got quite a lot today, actually. That's good. Well, let's see. What you think you need to work on based on what we
Um,
mentioned? Yeah.
I think burst damage was one of the things. Burst damage, cool. Like taking note of what um abilities do a lot of damage and paying attention to my how much resources I have and determining, okay, on the resources I have, it's time like is it time to stabilize or can I continue to put pressure down, you know? Like and that's the kind of questions I have to look for. Looking for 90 angles, keep looking for 90 angles. I feel like I'm using the whatever angle I have, I feel or not angle, but corners. I feel like corners. I feel like I'm using them really well now. But I
Exactly.
need to
Much better.
find
Yep.
I yeah, I think the 90 getting around to a 90 angle or, taking an off angle a bit more on queen is definitely something I need to do more of. And paying attention to, my resources again.
Yeah, definitely. So it's taking 90 angles. That's one. Stabilizing more. Okay, let's go deeper into that. So how do you stabilize? What do you gotta keep an eye on?
Um where my team is and what the enemies cooldowns are, like how much resources do they have? How many resources
Mhm.
do my team have? um, where is my team? Where are they at? What can they provide to me, or what can I provide to them to,
Mm-hmm.
kind of
Specifically
figure out
for
what we're
your
doing.
resources, remember what been the triggers when you stop the pressure? Yeah,
Oh,
when you stop
two
this.
thirds when I have one or only one cooldown, or if I have no
s- s-
cooldowns, like check my
Yes,
health.
specify to just first cooldowns, one bullet point. Most of cooldowns are down. Look around, stabilize. If you have
Mhm.
HP, I guess stabilize as well. Have
Yeah,
HP or lost your armor. I'm gonna put it this way because you play Ryan as well. Yeah.
yeah. I've been focused on mainly Junker Queen in comp, maybe a little bit of Rhine. I know we talked about at the very beginning that I wanted to do other heroes, but I felt learning one hero at a time, to be honest, was kind of the best
Yes,
way.
this is better. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just because then I can learn one, and if just because then I think it'll help me later on. Because like let's say I struggle like when I learn, if I end up trying to learn like another hero, I can always have a fallback of like, hey, I'm really good at Junk Queen. That's my secret play. But either way, but yeah, what were we saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, health, abilities, checking on those, and my team's abilities is definitely an important thing to check out. Like, and like my enemies. Granted, I didn't see the Orisa, but looking around would have helped. If I stabilized at that exact moment and waited 2 more seconds, I could have easily killed that Orisa with the
Exactly.
amount of abilities I had.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Starting with your own resources, start that tracking first. Second, enemy abilities, big burst, CC, something you can track. You can also track enemy defensive, same kind of thing.
Mhm.
So
Voodoo,
yeah,
yep.
and tracking your team cooldowns, well, can do same way, but I wouldn't pay attention to it that much at this point of time. Maybe yeah, start with your own resources first,
Yeah, I
with your
think I Yeah, I think I agree with you. Just focusing on my resources and enemies' resources. I feel like it's gonna be a lot in my mind, anyways. Focusing on everyone's, I feel like
Yeah,
I'm gonna short circuit.
exactly, one step at a time. Choose this kind of 1, 2 bullet points, maybe preferably again, one is enough. Work on that, then move to another bullet point, then another bullet point. This way, as we described, XYZ. You can avoid autopilot this way. Keep yourself more focused on everything, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah, yeah,
think would be
yeah.
would be really good this way.